Separation is God's design, is the way he functions, and is the way he expects his children to function. Are you a son of God? You know, John 1 verse 12 says, as many as received him, to them gave he the power to be called the sons of God, even to those that believe on his name. So when you receive Jesus, you were given the right to become a son of God. And this son of God is not what you hear the world say, oh, we the fear God now, oh, we not picking him for God. No. We are talking about being a bona fide son. Are there many in your life that call you my son? Are there many in your life that call you my son? Answer me now. Are all of these men truly your father? The man who finished calling you my son and you said, okay, Daddy, I'm going. It's okay, my son, God bless you. Daddy, I'm going. My son, God bless you. Daddy, I'm going. My son, bless you. And then when you say, Daddy, I'm going, you give him money. You say, my son, you are truly my son. Because he does not know what it means to be a father. When you are a father, it means you are source. So he's calling you my son, but when the time comes for him to be a father, he becomes a son. You can't present your project and he listens to it. Are you getting me? If there is a need and you said, my father, can you help me? Even an advice, he will tell you, no, my children's school fees have not been paid. So who are you? He will tell you, my children's school fees have not been paid, but he can't even advise you and say, don't worry, the Lord, nothing. He just said, my son. My son, son. So when we say you are given the right to be called a son of God, it's not this kind of my son, my son. The right to be called a son of God means you are a bona fide, you are a son by law. When you're growing up as a child, first of all, when you just got born, you understood sonship. As you began to grow, you grew into slavery. Then when you grew and passed slavery, you enter into servanthood. Then later you became a son back. I will explain. If your memory can be very vivid, you remember that there was a time in your life that you are not ready. There was a time in your life that when your father is eating, you just come. You say, Daddy, you just send your hand into the plate. And if it has not happened to you, if you have been around a child that is relating to the parents, you will see it. Yeah. You know the fastest hand on earth is the hand of a child. You know that, right? You don't know? Before you know, he has already grabbed the rice. Just pick it. The child doesn't knock the door of the parents' room. He just walk in. He's not thinking, will my father or my mother want to see me? He knows that they want to see him. Jason walks into my room. In fact, in the house, he's the only one who comes to my room. So he just walks in, and we are struggling to greet him. We are trying to call his attention. We are trying to call his attention to come and greet us. When he's coming to the room, he just walks in and he goes and looks for some apparatus to play. Maybe mommy's oil and maybe my oil. He just wants to mix everything, and he's just mixing. That level of confidence. You now understand why when you just became born again, your prayers were being answered fast. Because you were operating in the ignorance of sonship. That you just love being a child. You were a baby to God. You just understood that it is just believing and receiving, and it was working for you. But over time, something happened and you went into slavery. You now say to yourself, this matter, I need to do 7 days of fasting. So you are now trying to impress God by that 7 days. You are trying to impress God. It's just like a child now that wants to ask for school fees, but would dry clean the house first, wash the father's dress to say, I need school shoes. In your mind, when your father says, okay, come and take, you have really worked today, come and take, you know you earned it. But your father is not giving it to you because you earned it. If you think I'm lying, go and check families. That son that is the most stubborn, that daughter that is like the most stubborn, is the one that appears as if they are loved the most by the parents. You that is a good boy, you cannot even play small 419 or 15. You cannot tell your parents that you broke photosynthesis. You are living holy. The day you ask for small 50,000, there's panic. What do you want to do with 50,000? Your brother will look for a plan. Will come and tell, I want to study a program in South Korea. Can you give me 2 million? They will remove it and give. You will come after 1 week and say, I was going, I don't know. I used the money. And your father will get angry and say, what kind of son are you? And the next time you say, I will not give you anything. 1 week later, I say, so which other country do you want to go to? Let me tell you what is happening there. One is truly a son. Another one is a slave. And we carry that thing into church and into the things of God. We want to show God that we have done it. Now He should reward us. God is your father, and as your father, He is not an irresponsible father. Now, being a son of God, you start to grow into sonship, which is the point I want to make. You grow. And in growing, you need to learn the footsteps of your father. You know, Romans chapter 8 verse 14 says that as many as are led by the Spirit of God, they are the sons of God. The Passion Translation says the mature sons of God are those that are led by the Spirit. So God expects you to be picking up with His footsteps. The Spirit bear witness with our spirit that we are children of God. But when you want to grow to become a mature believer, God expects you to be following the leadership of the Spirit. The Holy Spirit does not just lead you into good things of this life. The primary ministry of the Holy Spirit is to lead you into the discovery of your identity in God. That's so when the Holy Spirit was given to you, His job is to lead you to know who you are in God. He doesn't just lead you on who you should marry, where you should have a job. No, He leads you into who you are in God. That's the primary ministry of the Holy Spirit. So, in following the leading of the Holy Spirit, you begin to learn now the holiness of God. In that, how come God created the heavens and the earth and then He separated Himself from it? He expects you to do same. Separation.